Meanwhile, back here at home, the unrest in Portland continues to rage out of control. Antifa terrorists are destroying government. Oh, wait, that's the White House. Oh, that's what Trump did on purpose, without permission, to the White House. I told you we should have made him put down a security deposit.
Actually, the people who work for him now should remember. He said that the people who work for Obama, they're not protected by the immunity decision. Well, all you people who are getting those jobs right now, working for Donald Trump, whether you be the lowliest ICE agent or Stephen Miller himself, you better watch it, because you don't have immunity.
When late-night sarcasm meets lawyer-grade trolling, chaos takes center stage. Jimmy Kimmel and George Conway team up to roast Trump like a 4th of July barbecue gone rogue, sharp jokes flying, ego cracking, and somewhere in Florida, a golf cart trembling. It's not just comedy. It's a meltdown in motion, wrapped in punchlines, served hot with a side of political spectacle. Grab your popcorn and watch the fireworks.
President, he had fake Time magazine covers hanging on the walls of his golf club, for real. But this one, I guess, conjured up some mixed feelings because of the photo they used.
I think everybody overthinks this guy. There's no strategy. There is no thought. And the brand is just him. He lives in this world where there's just him. Okay?
But it's not just him, George. It's a hell of a lot of people out there who've gotten sucked up into this thing and that are perpetuating
I agree with
that brand.
I'm talking about in his mind.
Okay.
None of us.
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. Jimmy Kimmel apparently decided late-night TV needed a little more chaos. So he set his sights on the one man who can turn any topic into a full-blown drama: Donald Trump. What started as a lighthearted monologue quickly spiraled into an all-out roast. Within minutes, Kimmel transformed his stage into a comedic war zone, firing punchlines so sharp the guest of dishonor didn't even have to appear to feel the heat.
Secretary of the Treasury to explain why.
Why didn't the president tell the public he was going to tear down the entire East Wing, which, as you know, is a part of the People's House?
I think this was a judgment call on the president. The president is a master builder. You know, I don't know. I assume that maybe parts of the East Wing, could have been asbestos, could have been mold.
Could have been some old Chinese food, could have been ghosts.
Somewhere, you could almost hear a golf club snapping in half. Kimmel didn't hold back for a moment, slicing through Trump's greatest hits, the rallies, the nicknames, the endless victim speeches, with razor-sharp sarcasm. Each punchline landed perfectly, turning late-night comedy into a masterclass in merciless, well-aimed political roasting.
The only solution was to completely smash the whole place down. I wish the master builder would master build in private like the rest of us do. So far, Trump is behaving less like a president and more like a property brother. He blew up the East Wing. He redecorated the Oval Office. He paved over the Rose Garden. He added a golden hall of presidents, and he isn't done.
This house was not taken care of the way it was supposed to be. I take very good care of property.
It wasn't just a roast. It was a full-blown autopsy of Trump's ego, performed with surgical precision and a sly grin. Kimmel's timing was impeccable, turning political mayhem into a comedy clinic. At the center of it all, Trump's relentless hunger for praise, laid bare under Kimmel's spotlight.
Himself, but emotionally react to things. One of the things that he's a narcissistic sociopath. That's the thing everyone has to kind of get used to. It's the reason why you cannot normalize him. You cannot treat him like a normal human being, because he's not. He is unwell. And that's why he can't follow. He's not going to be able to follow his lawyers.
Kimmel painted Trump as a man who checks TV ratings the way most people check their blood pressure, constantly, anxiously, and with a doctor's note that reads, "Please stop watching cable news." The image was pitch perfect. Trump pacing around Mar-a-Lago, muttering about unfair treatment while Kimmel turned every tantrum into comedy gold. Then came the faces. Kimmel could take one Trump frown and spin it into a full three-act play. That signature squint, half confusion, half existential dread, became a perfect metaphor for everything that's unraveled since 2016. It was the look of a man trying to remember his lawyers' names and realizing he's already fired most of them. But Kimmel's real genius wasn't just in the jokes. It was in the delivery. His rhythm was impeccable, his timing razor sharp. He knew exactly when to pause, roll his eyes, and drop a punchline so dry it could drain a hurricane. He turned Trump's "I'm the most persecuted man alive" routine into what sounded like a rejected high school drama audition. By the end, the supposed political powerhouse had been reduced to a rerun of his own reality show. Yet Kimmel pushed further, peeling back Trump's contradictions. Every "I'm rich, I'm smart, everyone loves me" boast that inevitably precedes another courtroom headline. It was brutal, brilliant, and utterly hilarious.
Floors downstairs, I paid for them. Marble, the most beautiful marble you've ever seen. The white floors down in the palm room. The most beautiful floors, the most beautiful lights and chandeliers. And now it's starting to gleam like it should. It'll be the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world, I think.
Wait a minute. Is it possible that he's planning to sell the White House security deposit? Over the summer, Trump announced he was going to build a big, beautiful ballroom, but promised it would not in any way affect the structure of the White House, and then he demolished the White House.
Kimmel framed the entire spectacle like a tragic comic opera, starring a lead who can't admit his once loyal chorus has long since found better gigs. Then came the parodies. Kimmel's brilliance isn't in voice imitation. It's in nailing every twitch, pause, and squint so precisely you can't unsee them. His version of Trump explaining simple facts looks like a man wrestling invisible math problems. Each gesture a perfectly orchestrated note in a symphony of confusion. Meanwhile, George Conway offers a different act entirely. He skips the slapstick and dives straight into the sting, treating Trump's legal sagas like a darkly funny interactive special titled "How to Lose a Case in 10 Easy Steps." Every indictment becomes a punchline. Every fleeing lawyer another episode of Law and Disorder. He doesn't need a laugh track, just the echo of courtroom doors slamming shut. The ultimate twist? Conway once belonged to that very orbit he now dismantles with surgical wit, turning legal commentary into the sharpest satire on the political stage.
He played right into the plaintiff's hands in the E. Jean Carroll case. They're trying to show basically he's a jerk. And what does he do? He acts like a jerk right in front of the jury. He shows disrespect for the jury. And, the fact of the matter is he's saying, oh, none of this ever happened. Well, okay, where's your testimony? That is the problem. And all of those people end up being fascists. You were right after January 6th. And I think it's a disgrace that you now sit here and try to defend him when basically he's done nothing.
Conway has front-row experience in political absurdity, and now he narrates it like a historian of chaos. There's something hilariously poetic about that, like a former magician exposing every trick, only to admit the magician never knew the line between illusion and delusion. Together, Kimmel and Conway delivered the political comedy crossover no one expected, but everyone secretly needed. Kimmel's audience roared with laughter. Conway's followers nodded in knowing exhaustion. It wasn't just entertainment. It was catharsis for anyone who's survived a decade of political theater and thought, surely it can't get any weirder. Spoiler alert, it always does. Kimmel's genius lies in his ability to weaponize chaos. He takes Trump's grandiosity and flips it inside out, turning the self-proclaimed deal-maker into a swaggering game show contestant, except every prize is another subpoena. He barely needs to exaggerate. Reality does the heavy lifting. Kimmel simply seasons it with punchlines, each one a dash of salt on a self-inflicted wound. One of his sharpest jabs came when he compared Trump's campaign slogans to motivational posters in a failing gym. Loud, empty, and inspiring only naps. It was brutal, surgical, and unmistakably Kimmel. Comedy as truth-telling wrapped in perfectly timed absurdity.
Our president doing this.
Hello, everyone. It's President Donald J. Trump, and it's Trump time. Check out this red beauty. It's one of my new watches. Wear it proudly on your wrist.
Yeah. Don't wear it around your neck. I don't want to get sued.
Wear it proudly on your wrist, and everyone will know exactly what it's for
That's right. In case you live in an area where people don't...
The image lingered, Trump pacing in circles, delivering pep talks to himself while everyone else quietly drifted toward the exits. Meanwhile, Conway turned the ongoing legal circus into a masterclass in irony. He didn't need to mock Trump's defenses. They collapsed under their own absurdity. He painted vivid scenes of lawyers quitting faster than interns at a failing startup, each realizing too late that representing Trump is like babysitting a tornado. Every tweet, statement, and courtroom appearance became another exhibit in the museum of self-inflicted chaos. Conway never ranted. He simply let the nonsense speak for itself. Each boast and excuse evolved into a running gag, equal parts tragic and hilarious. By the end, Trump felt less like a political figure and more like a character trapped in an endless episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, minus the self-awareness. And through all the mockery and mayhem, Kimmel and Conway revealed an uncomfortable, cutting truth hidden beneath the laughter, Nat change. Kimmel embodies the loud, cathartic laughter of a crowd that's simply seen too much, while Conway delivers the quiet, knowing smirk of someone who's seen exactly how the machinery grinds from the inside. Together, they strike a rare comedic harmony, loud yet precise, outrageous yet surgical, all aimed at the one man who can't stand being the punchline. The beauty is that Trump supplies his own satire. He generates material the way a magician gives away secrets, frequently and without realizing it. Every rant, post, and meltdown becomes fuel for the next comedic inferno. Kimmel and Conway are like master chefs in a five-star kitchen that serves chaos flambe. Kimmel provides the emotional core, translating absurdity into something universally relatable. You don't need to follow politics to laugh, you just have to understand irony. Watching him roast Trump feels like finally hearing someone articulate what everyone's been thinking, only funnier, sharper, and better lit. And no Kimmel monologue lands without a pop culture twist. He folds celebrity references into his satire as if building a cinematic universe of political comedy. Trump becomes the star of a reality show that never got canceled, mostly because no one can decide who actually owns the rights. Part mockery, part therapy, pure entertainment perfection.
Long Republican, you're now a very well-known, outspoken critic, I think it's fair to say, of the president. Mick thinks it's unfair to talk about fascism, authoritarianism. He didn't accept any of the examples I gave. Why do you think Trump is an authoritarian?
Because of the very things that Mick wrote about in 2020. He thought it was possible that Donald Trump would ignore the results of the 2020 election. That's a fact.
By the time Kimmel's finished, Trump's image has morphed from powerful leader to the guy who yells at clouds and calls it strategy. It's merciless, hilarious, and you can almost see Kimmel savoring every absurd moment. He thrives on the ridiculousness of it all, the idea that someone could turn politics into a non-stop content machine. You don't just laugh. You smirk and mutter. That's brutal. Both men have made Trump's chaos their playground. Kimmel for the laughter, Conway for the poetic justice. The outrage itself fuels the humor like jet fuel, each new rant or post transforming into the next setup, waiting for its punchline. And somehow it's deeply satisfying. After years of dominating every conversation, Trump has finally become the conversation's punchline, his own endless performance now met with the nation's knowing laughter. The loudest man in the room is being dissected by two people who can make the world laugh at him effortlessly. That's the ultimate reversal of power, and Kimmel and Conway wield it with surgical precision. The whole spectacle feels like a Shakespearean comedy staged on Twitter, directed by late-night TV and fact-checked by lawyers. Trump plays the same role every time, the tragic hero who refuses to read the script. Kimmel's closing moments send the audience into roaring fits of laughter, leaning into the absurdity of each gaffe, while Conway's dry, precise observations land like perfectly timed afterthoughts. Two distinct styles converge on one shared truth. Trump's chaos is endlessly fertile comedic material. Their balance is almost poetic. Kimmel exaggerates, reveling in ridiculousness. Conway dissects, exposing irony and contradictions. Together, they've built a full comedic ecosystem from one man's refusal or inability to stop being ridiculous. It's relentless, brilliant, and undeniable. A perfect storm of satire and timing that transforms political theater into pure, unfiltered entertainment, leaving audiences laughing, nodding, and marveling at the absurdity of it all.
He wore top hats. Trump doesn't even wear a watch. I mean, seriously, it's only a matter of time before we're swearing in President Jake from State Farm. These watches, by the way, are not too good according to some of the reviews. Like this one, my daughter's ordered a Trump watch and after 5 months of waiting have not received anything. It's a shame this company is not holding to President Trump's high standards. I have bad news for you, honey. They are holding exactly to Trump.
Jimmy Kimmel gleefully dismantles the Trump myth, while George Conway wields a scalpel of sarcasm. Two distinct voices tackle the same political spectacle from opposite angles. Kimmel with jokes that sting, Conway with analysis that cuts deep. By the time the laughter fades, it's clear this is more than comedy. It's a chronicle of an era where absurdity became routine and humor the only way to survive it. Kimmel is already plotting his next monologue, Conway drafting another column that lands like a paper cut smeared with lemon juice. It's the modern political cycle. Chaos, comedy, repeat. And if Trump ever wonders why the world is laughing, the answer is simple. The show never stops, the material keeps writing itself, and the absurdity never ends, providing an endless supply of entertainment, sharp commentary, and unrelenting punchlines.